Since weeding my garden boxes is one of my least favorite things to do, I sometimes look for new ways to mitigate weed growth in the first place. I've used mulch lots of times, but that's sort of messy and I end up with chunks of wood chips in my dirt for years to come, and that's kind of annoying. So this year I thought I would try laying down some landscaping fabric in my tomato bed to see how well it would work. I hadn't used landscaping fabric for gardening before, so I had no idea how well it would do. I didn't know if weeds would simply sprout up through the fabric, or if they might grow underneath the fabric. What I hoped would happen is that they wouldn't grow at all. So I put down a sheet of fabric and staked it down, and I cut holes where I wanted to put my tomato plants. Because the fabric is porous, watering shouldn't be an issue because it would just soak right through and into the dirt. So about a month after I planted my tomatoes, I was reveling in the fact that I hadn't seen a single weed in this garden bed, aside from a few along the outer edge where the fabric didn't quite cover. But as I learned, not seeing weeds isn't the same thing as not having weeds. A bit of green caught my eye, and at first I thought I might have some sort of mildew issue on the fabric, but when I looked closer, I realized the problem was underneath. When I peeled back a bit of the landscaping fabric, I noticed a veritable forest of the same sprawling weeds that have annoyed my garden beds for years. If anything, they looked healthier than the ones that were left uncovered. So I decided to cut my losses and get rid of the fabric on this bed. Lesson learned, the weeds will still grow and the landscaping fabric just makes it impossible to pick them. So for now, it's back to weeding the old-fashioned way and back to the drawing board for next year. If landscaping fabric doesn't do its only job, then I have a hard time understanding why anybody uses it. I've read that some people put wood chip mulch on top of landscaping fabric, but that hardly seems worthwhile to me. If I'm going to go through the hassle of wood chips all over the garden, I don't even need to bother with the landscaping fabric. Anyhow, for what it's worth, my advice is to save your money if you were hoping that landscaping fabric alone would prevent weeds in your garden. That's it for now. Until next time, this is Great Lakes Prepping.